but everything I write is bad. I have a lot to say, so we're just gonna charge on through. Hey there, welcome back to the Writing Advice Q&A! Today's subject was sent by a viewer just like you. What can you do? What could you do when you get that feeling that everything you write is trash? Let's talk about it. Again, I have a lot to say, and I know I'm gonna ramble, so let's just charge on through. First and foremost, as with any other part of writing, usually revolving around oneself, stop! Take a deep breath and analyze your feelings. I'm gonna propose to you two columns of situations right now, okay? Now, when you feel that everything you write is bad, that everything you write sucks, that everything you write is crap, are you feeling this way? And let's be real, you don't have to tell me, you don't have to say it out loud. Just analyze where this feeling is coming from, and be honest with yourself. Be really honest with yourself. Do you feel this way because at this moment the writing is very hard? Do you feel this way because you've been writing a lot and you're feeling burnt out? Do you feel this way because you've been working for a long time? Maybe you're even writing every day and you're losing motivation. Or, as always, are you feeling this way, be honest with me, because of something that is happening in real life over which you have no control over? And it's bothering you so much that it's kinda seeping, kinda like sneaking into your overall mental state and pushing you down. Is it one of those things? Or, and I'm saying this completely honestly, okay? Or you're feeling, be honest with yourself, that you don't want to write anymore. Writing is no longer fun. Writing doesn't inspire you anymore. Something else excites you. Yeah, we're getting real, because we really have to deal with these actual feelings. Other YouTube channels would just tell you to do X and Y, and in reality, they're just giving you their solution. In this case, I want you to look within yourself and analyze your particular feelings. Is it column A or is it column B? Because if it's column B, I would like to inspire you to go do something that excites you the most, and spend the time in your life doing the things that you actually want to be doing, because life is limited, and we only have limited time. If it's column B, then go find your passion. Again, if you really don't want to write anymore, and this is kind of like the way it's manifesting itself, then I want to inspire you to go do what your passion is, and find something else that excites you. It's your life. Do what you want to do. Okay? If it's column A though, you're gonna sit down and get some more writing done. Gosh doodly darn, it's not as difficult as you may think. Let me give you a little bit of insight into the things that I do. Because let me tell you something right now. All those other 4 scenarios that I was talking about, those are all things that are usually pretty much 100% of the time exterior to the writing. If you think the writing is hard, review what you're trying to do and what part of it is it actually hard. Because remember that the act of writing is just relaying a story, taking it from your mind and putting it on the paper. What are you overcomplicating? What is the hard part, really? I usually actually find that whenever I feel that the writing is hard, it's actually option number 4, something in my life that is kind of burning away at my mental RAM. Now, if you are burnt out, take a break, buddy. It's okay. Take a day off. Slow down a little. It's not a race, and you benefit in no particular fashion by working yourself to the bone. You gotta take care of the writer to take care of the writing. And of course, in the case that you feel that you're losing motivation, again, this is no fault of the story. This is why, if I have to just sneak it in this already, please do me a favor. Please do me a favor. Make a playlist for your story. Make a music playlist with the songs that make you think about this world and about these characters, and that gets you hyped and excited. And listen to it. In the hours before you're about to sit down to write, listen to it and get hyped to get some writing done. It's part of the process. And the following is me being passionate about things, but also being a little confused. I don't understand how people don't have a playlist for the stories. I don't understand how people have finished books without sitting down to get hyped for the story. I don't understand. That's beyond me. But thankfully, we need not worry about those ancient times, because you have the technology, you have what you need. Gather music that inspires you, that reminds you of the world you're going into, and listen to it. And now, of course, let's talk about the last one. Because I talked about the writing feels like it's hard, you're burnt out, you're losing motivation. What about when life gets in the way? Well, general, if there is something you can do about life, if you really must make that call, send that letter, submit your application, finish your resume, finish your finals. If there's something you must do, just do it. Just get it done. Just finish it. If you have control over those things, go to the DMV. Call your mother. If there's something about real life that you can do, do it. So that you must never worry about it again. If there is nothing you can do about it, if it is completely and absolutely out of your hands, out of your control, well, then it might as well just be the weather, huh? It might as well just be a rainy day outside over which you have no control over. Sure, we can sit here and worry about it, or we can just take out an umbrella and go for a walk. Yes, you're right, the metaphor is falling apart, but the sentiment remains. If there's nothing you can do about it, sit down and instead of focusing on the bad, on what's happening around you, on the unfortunate part of living, then focus instead on the story. Get lost in this world. That's what helped me recently. If you caught me talking about my book jam, literally on the final hours of my book jam, halfway through me trying to write as much as I could in 3 days, real life happens. Real life happens over which that I had no control over. Things that I can't fix right now. And it sucked. It sucked a lot. But I put on my playlist, I put some good old Queen, some Bon Jovi, and I just pushed through the writing. Because time is limited. And we don't have the time to do all the things we want to do. And honestly, that day I wanted to freaking finish writing that part of the story. Because I finally made it over to not the fun part, but the most exciting part of that story. The moment when the antagonist finally reveals themselves. And it's got that amazing plot twist. And I made it. And I pushed through it. If you have control over life, take action. If you don't, push through. Now, I understand that some of this may be like really nice inspirational advice, and someone out there may be looking for something more. A bit of a technical piece of advice. Something that is actually physically tangible in a way. I have one for you. Whatever writing software that you use, I would recommend using Focuswriter, because it's the best writing program, it's free, it's got customization, it's everything you need. But whatever you use, whether it is Notepad or Microsoft Word or Scrivener, I want to inspire you to do one thing, okay? And hear me out. Here's one crazy tip, okay? Go into the settings and turn off automatic spell check. Turn off that little red line that shows up whenever you misspell a word. Turn that the hell off. Let me tell you why. When I sit down to do a first draft of a story, I like to use a distraction-free writing program where I'm focused only on what I'm writing right now. I am a very finicky person, and if I see one of those red lines, I get anxious. I want to go back and fix it. And that is not only an absolute huge waste of time, because time that you're spending editing is time you're not spending writing, and the longer that it's going to take for you to actually finish the first draft, but additional to that, you're not focusing. You're thinking on, oh, I messed that up. Oh, I messed that up too. Oh god, I think there's a word missing here. And oh, this description line, it's just not doing it. Oh, and this dialogue here. Oh, and oh, did I remember to describe this? And in the act of looking back, you start reflecting on what you have done before. And let's be real, we're all dying when we're writing. We're all having a panic attack when we're writing. When you turn around and you look at or you think about looking at what you've done, there is no way that you don't think that everything you're doing is bad and it sucks and you should give up right now. That's why I use a writing program that automatically locks me on the middle of the page, so I never have to scroll up or down. I just focus on the act of writing. And now, I've gone on for way too long, but there's one more thing I want to tackle, okay? And this is the biggest for, like, younger writers. And I think, in retrospect, they should have put this forward, but nobody ever believes it, so I guess I'll just say it here again. Please stop thinking that your first draft is going to be good. Please stop thinking that your first draft is going to be amazing. Please stop thinking that your first draft is going to be so good, you're not even going to have to edit the darn thing. Because you're daydreaming. Wake up. That doesn't happen. And it's okay. Every single book you have read was an awful first draft. No one in the history of the universe has written a good book, and not edited it. That doesn't happen. Writing is not just the first draft, it's also the revision process and also the publishing process. It's a three-phase boss fight, and although I know that when you're fighting through the first phase, it seems that that's all there is to it. There's more to it. There's more time. This boss has a couple more phases, and you have not yet experienced its final form, and that's okay. Push through the writing. Oh god, I was about to go into a whole final boss analogy here. Don't burn all of your healing items on the first phase, but silliness out of the way. Writing is a long process, and I want you to internalize, please, that your first draft is not anywhere near close to the final version of your story. I've said this in the past, because a lot of metaphors just fall apart, they really do. Because, like, there's metaphors of, like, oh, writing a book is kind of like building a house, or writing a book is kind of like doing this. And I'm like, and all those metaphors fall apart, because it doesn't really work like that. The only metaphor that I like that kind of seems to make sense for me is sculpting. The first draft is merely just gathering clay. Gathering clay that you will give form later. That is why writing more is usually better than writing less, because it's a lot easier to take out writing than it is to add it. Take it from someone who always has to add writing into their stories. That's all the first draft is. That's all it is. Just gathering clay. You transmute the writing from your imagination to the page. And later on, during revision, your task is to give it form finally. And that's really all there is to writing. And I know that this may be hard to listen to or hard to, like, acknowledge when you are down in the slumps, when you're feeling really bad, when you are on low spirits, low morale, but push through. It's okay. If you love the writing, if you love these characters, you will push through. You must push through. Because unless you finish the first draft, you will never revise the story. You will never publish the story. And no one else will find out about this awesome world you discovered first. And that's a fact. So, if you must take a break, take a break. If you must slow down, slow down. If you must put on some Queen and Bon Jovi to get hyped, then please do. But please, 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 if you love the writing, don't give up. Alright? Alright! Thank you for tagging along. On the screen right now, a few links on where you can find me, as well as checking out, please, the description down below where you can find a link to treating me to a cup of coffee, if you enjoyed the video. And now, as we're rolling into the outro, sorry if I'm rushing, but I've rambled on for way too long today. Up here, writing advice playlist, a lot of writing advice videos. Up here, button to subscribe. Down here, link to my Patreon, and over here, a link to my other channel with my best friend Kitty, where we're very, very, very silly people. Thank you for tagging along, thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me, and I hope that you keep on writing, right, early friend.